Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. One of, if not the hottest topic in the Battlefield 6 community so far to start this game has been bloom, and your bullets not going where you are aiming. This, of course, was a pretty big topic back in the Battlefield 6 beta as well, mainly because back in the beta there was actually a major bug going on with bloom where if you interrupted your sliding animation at any point, you'd end up actually bugging your accuracy out and your bloom would go absolutely insane and you'd have to go through and reset it to fix that. And the devs were fully aware of that issue and they addressed it post beta and everything. However, now here at launch, bloom is back at the center of attention because it is yet again bugged, seemingly. Now, if you're unfamiliar, bloom as a mechanic here is going to factor in heavily to your accuracy. Obviously, you have your reticle shooting, and if there's bloom involved in it, your bullets are not going to go where that reticle is. Now, of course, you also have your spread, which is how much your bullets are, shaking and what the recoil pattern is like there in terms of like horizontal bounce and whatnot. Then you have your actual control, which is the recoil pattern itself. So there's three main things factoring into your accuracy in game right now in Battlefield 6, and control and spread you can sort of control to an extent by using different attachments and helping stats out there. Bloom, though, is RNG. It is random and it can drastically swing a gunfight and either get you some kills or cost you some kills if the enemies are getting bloom effects on you. But the devs now have gone through and actually responded to these major bloom issues. So the Tactical Brit, shout out Brit, he's been posting a ton of great content here in Battlefield 6 so far. He ended up posting this clip on Twitter yesterday saying, the gunplay in Battlefield 6 feels rough sometimes because it is still not working correctly. Spread and bloom is not resetting correctly, and we've got this 40-second long clip where he actually exemplifies this really well. So this is his bloom and his spread working effectively. You can see he doesn't hit every single shot because he's got a bullet drop and bullet lead and these guys down on these mounds, but you can see like his bullets are going where his reticle is. His bullets are going where they're aiming. Again, he misses a couple of shots there because the player's running side to side, but then his bloom gets bugged, and you can see as he's aiming here, his bullets go nowhere near where his reticle was and where he was aiming, and it was the first shot. So this is his spread, as he alluded to there. His spread and his bloom not resetting. You can see the first bullet here goes way off to the side. Nice still there mid-explosion, but the bullets are not going anywhere near where he's aiming, despite the fact that he just stopped shooting, did some movement stuff, then re-engaged. First shot immediately he's missing because of this bugged bloom, whereas it's supposed to go through and as you're tap firing, as you stop shooting and go back in again, whether it be reloading, just simply taking a break in the you spraying, there should be a reset in there that centers your aim back and your bullets are going to start going where you're intending to aim. And so this was a very big deal, and this is what really got the devs attention and actually got a response now that we know bloom is in fact bugged and it's going to see an update. So in this thread, Shroud, who is really the main person who highlighted how broken bloom was back during the beta by showing off the glitch sliding, says bloom bug never fixed from the beta, unlucky. And Florian, one of the design directors here on Battlefield, ended up saying the beta bug was actually fixed, as mentioned at the start of the video there, but we have identified another issue, two issues in fact, that impacts dispersion and bloom in an unintended way and will cause you to have more dispersion at times. The team is working on this and we're looking at a general balance and tuning of dispersion too. So what this does is confirm a couple of things. One, yes, there are multiple issues going on with bloom that are not your fault. You might say, okay, is something going wrong with my setup? Are my attachments wrong? Am I doing something with my movement that's wrong? There is actual objective issues and bugs going on with bloom right now that are basically breaking the game because they're breaking your gunfights and causing an extreme inconsistency. But also we have it now confirmed as well that there'll be a different update in addition to fixes for this bloom issue. There will be a different update to generally balance and tune some of the bloom, some of the dispersion here, which likely means hopefully that it's not going to be as obnoxious and as blatant. I think there is a place for bloom if you want it in the game. Now personally, I prefer just to be rewarded for being accurate. I'd much prefer a game with no bloom, but if it's going to be in the game, you obviously don't want it to be this overwhelming thing that is basically a coin flipping gunfights. At least my 2 cents there. I'm sure some will agree, some will absolutely disagree there, but it is nice to see that there is going to be a balance update there. SMGs, quite frankly, it's insane how much much better SMGs feel when it comes to bloom and spread and everything. Even in some like mid-range fights that are probably not true SMG territory, it's like, man, if I just used the SMGs, I would never have a, realize there was a major bloom issue in this game. Then you flip over to a rifle, an LMG, etc., and it's absolutely crazy here. But it is great to see that we do actually have a confirmation that bug fixes are coming to address bloom and balance updates are coming to address bloom. Obviously, once those updates are out, I'll be covering all that here on the channel right away. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications to stay up to date. Y'all have been crushing it with all the support on the channel so far here in Battlefield 6, with all the new viewers coming in and checking out the content. Really do appreciate all the love, and of course, we're getting closer to 1 million every single day. And by the way, if you guys enjoyed this video as well, a like rating is always seriously appreciated. Funny enough, though, in addition to all this bloom talk and all these bloom updates that are now confirmed, Battlefield just dropped another new update today that also will help out with your aim. So Battlefield Comms ended up posting this tweet early on this morning saying, "We are aware of reports of cases where bullets may not register damage correctly when hitting enemies." So this is different from bloom, and we'll talk about this in just a minute just to clarify things. But there are times where it does actually look like your bullet trail goes directly to an enemy and there's no damage. You don't actually get any credit for it. They say, "Following an investigation, we found this was related to certain weapon attachment combinations. A hotfix has now been deployed to address known issues. We'll continue to monitor performance there." So there's a chance just because you built out a gun a certain way, you were actually hurting your ability to inflict damage on enemies, even though you were actually accurate. So that's kind of a crazy one, but this is separate from a bloom issue. So Florian once again says, "We're rolling out a fix to address this issue where bullets hit an enemy and where blood splatters are visible, but they don't cause any damage. This happens intermittently with certain weapons and attachment combinations, but should now be resolved." And Florian was asked, "Is this related to the bloom issue?" And Florian said, "No, that is an entirely different issue." So this is its own thing that was fixed separately. And then we obviously still have the bloom updates and the bloom balancing and fixes to come as well. But like I said at the start of the video, this has been maybe the #1 topic in Battlefield 6 so far. All of these bloom conversations and all the clips going crazy of people looking directly at enemies, being on target, shooting, and their bullets going nowhere near. And it does seem like the devs do want to have this fair bit of bloom in gunfights just for a balancing sake, as was confirmed around launch. This clip was going around where this player was basically trying to shoot and wasn't getting any reg despite being on target, bullet spread going all over the place. Now this very well could be an actual bug that's also there, but David Serlin did reply and say, "Tap fire, that range in Battlefield ain't full auto range for a good reason. We tried many different versions of no bloom and it isn't pretty without old school draw distance limits in small areas only." So this is basically reiterating that they don't want a situation where you can take a rifle and full auto spray it at 150 meters and land shots immediately, like without any sort of RNG factor in there or any sort of counterplay. Essentially, like that would really hurt sniper counterplay potentially in some cases and lower the skill gap. And that's not just what they're looking for here in Battlefield 6. They do want to value having that gunfight awareness of when to tap fire, when to maybe single tap back-to-back burst fire, or go full auto in some more mid-range based fights. So it does seem like even after we get the general bloom and dispersion balance update here and things are fixed, this still will be a factor in gunfights. It's just to a matter of what degree is it? Is it still crazy? Is it very minimal? Is it only when you're strafing or doing larger movement things? Is it after you spray for X amount of time? We'll have to wait and see here, but as mentioned, once they do drop any patch notes or announce any changes for this or fixes, I'll be covering that. So stay tuned for that alongside everything else going on in Battlefield by hitting that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, a like on your way out would be seriously appreciated. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.